Welcome back to our channel, fellow Port Charles addicts. Today is a truly wild day in the soap universe, and I am so incredibly glad you are all here to unpack this absolute madness. Grab your coffee, and let's dive right in. The foundation of Port Charles is literally shaking right now, and every single one of us is staring down the barrel of an impossible reality. A seismic shift in momentum that changes the entire landscape of the city and forces impossible choices on everyone involved. I cannot believe the absolute meltdown that just happened online. I mean, my heart literally stopped beating for a solid 2 minutes. I am typing this up late at night after watching the latest episode and scrolling through the forums, and I just need to get it out of my system because I am still vibrating with anxiety and relief. Are you guys seeing this? Am I the only one who nearly threw their laptop across the room? Because when the news first dropped, I swear, the entire fandom collectively gasped so hard it probably caused a vacuum in the atmosphere. So, Maurice Benard is on the Ty Butler show, right? Just doing a casual interview, being his usual charming, open, legendary self. And out of nowhere, he just casually drops the bomb that his General Hospital contract is coming up for renewal in February or March. February or March. That is literally right around the corner. We are talking a few months away from potentially losing the absolute cornerstone of this entire franchise. And the live chat? Oh my god, the live chat reacted instantly. It was like watching a train derail in slow motion. Comments flooded in from worried fans, and honestly, I was right there with them, hyperventilating and pacing around my living room. People were typing in all caps, screaming that the show is dead without him, asking if this was the end of an era. Many assumed this meant Sonny was leaving General Hospital for good, because we all know how these contract negotiations go in daytime television. 1 minute you are the star, the next minute your character is caught in a mysterious explosion, and your body is never found. I've been watching since 2015, and let me tell you, this is the most terrifying thing they could possibly tease us. I know some of you have been watching since the 90s, and you get it even more. Sonny is General Hospital. You take him out, and the whole house of cards collapses. But wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let me walk you off the ledge, because Maurice quickly moved to calm those fears. Thank God. He actually clarified during the interview, I'm not going to retire soon. Do you know how loud I sighed in relief? I woke up my dog. He explained he could technically retire now if he wanted to. I mean, the man has earned it. He has poured his blood, sweat, and tears into this role for 3 decades. But he made it clear he isn't ready. He is not ready to go. He even joked that producers would have to force him out. And let's be real, no producer in their right mind is going to force Maurice Benard out. Okay, back to the point. Why is he staying? Because of this new storyline, General Hospital, a fresh storyline keeps him engaged. Sonny's current arc plays a massive role in Benard's mindset. He is currently exploring a legitimate business path for his character, and it is blowing my mind. I know some people are loving this, but personally, wait, no, I actually do love it. I contradict myself all the time on this, but hear me out. For years, we have watched Sonny run the mob. The shootouts, the coffee imports that were definitely not just coffee, the turf wars. We've seen him battle Cyrus Renault. We've seen the current absolute chaos with Jen Sidwell. But now he is walking away. He is officially stepping out of the mob life to focus on legitimate businesses and his. Benard called the new direction amazing, without giving too much away. He emphasized that power matters more to Sonny than the mob life itself. Power. That is the key word here, guys. Sonny doesn't need to be ordering hits to be the most terrifying and influential man in the room. He can do it with a pen and a contract. This creative shift seems to be re-energizing his passion for the role. He sounds genuinely invested in where the story is headed, and that energy translates directly to the. That energy has helped make Sonny one of daytime's most magnetic characters. It also suggests he isn't done exploring this chapter just yet. Let's talk a little more about that Ty Butler show interview, because there were so many nuances to how Maurice spoke. He wasn't just giving canned PR answers. You could see the spark in his eyes when he talked about the scripts he's been getting lately. For a while there, especially during the whole Nina romance era in Nixon Falls, you could kind of tell he was just going through the motion. It was a controversial storyline, and it split the fan base right down the middle. I know some people are still fighting about those pairings on Twitter every single day. But this new, legitimate business arc, it is uniting the fans. We all want to see Sonny thrive, and Maurice clearly wants to play a thriving Sonny. When he said his contract ends in February or March, it wasn't a threat to the network, it was just a statement of fact. But in the soap world, facts are terrifying. And I really need to emphasize how unhinged the live chat was during that broadcast. I was reading comments from people who were literally saying they're going to cancel their streaming subscriptions if Maurice left. People were typing that the network was doomed without him. It's kind of funny in retrospect, but in the moment, the panic was so palpable. It just goes to show you the sheer impact this one man has had on daytime television. You don't get that kind of visceral, instantaneous panic over just any character. You get it over a legend. And Maurice is a legend. Period. And let's circle back to Jason for a second, because Sonny's transition cannot be talked about without talking about Jason. Jason taking the fall for Rocco Falconeri, shooting Ross Cullum, getting thrown into a WSB black site in Jakarta, and coming back completely traumatized. That changed everything. Sonny realizes that the mob life didn't just cost him, it cost Jason his soul. Jason is back, and he is pushing away his past to protect Danny. Sonny sees that. Sonny respects that. The fact that Sonny is pushing Jason to find a peaceful path forward, even urging him to make peace with Rick Lansing of all people, shows how much Sonny has grown. Speaking of Rick Lansing, can we talk about this? Sonny is actually defending Rick's place in the organization and his legitimate business. Rick is currently spiraling into a toxic, jealous downward spiral over Elizabeth Baldwin and Dante Falconeri, but Sonny is trying to keep his half-brother in the fold. The old Sonny would have dangled Rick off a bridge by his ankles for half the stuff Rick has pulled in the past. But this new, evolved Sonny, he is looking at the bigger picture. He needs lawyers, he needs legitimate operators, and Rick fits that bill perfectly. It is such a fascinating dynamic shift. Remember when they tried this with Sonny before? Like when he lost his memory and was living as Mike in Nixon Falls? Yeah, didn't work then either. Because that stripped him of his agency and his power. He was just a guy in a flannel shirt making marinara. But this is different. This is Sonny making a conscious, calculated choice to evolve. He is keeping the power, keeping the suits, keeping the intimidation factor, but applying it to the boardroom. I mean, look at his current situation with ADA Justine Turner. They are having this secret, forbidden romance, and Justine was traumatized by being held hostage by Sidwell. Sonny is literally telling her about his career change, assuring her he won't have Sidwell killed in Pentonville. He is trying to prove to her that he can be a legitimate man. But can he? Can a man who has lived by the gun for 30 years truly just put it down? And he is going to need that legitimate power, because the sharks are already circling. Ava Jerome and Drew Kane are secretly colluding against him. Drew has made this miraculous recovery from his locked-in state. He is fully mobile, and he is plotting a ruthless revenge. Ava is furious over Ethan Lovett fleeing town and is teaming up with Drew. They are coming for Sonny's legitimate asset. So Sonny is going to have to fight a corporate war, not a street war. Benard has addressed retirement before. Back in October, he admitted he wouldn't step away before turning 65. He also called the job mentally taxing, and how could it not be? Memorizing 40 pages of dialogue a day, tapping into the deep, dark emotional wells required to play a bipolar mob boss who has lost children, who has been betrayed by everyone he loved. It is exhausting just to watch sometimes. I can't imagine living in that headspace as an actor. Still, he's expressed excitement about future projects once he does retire. He has his podcast. He is a huge advocate for mental health awareness. But right now, though, everything points to Benard staying put on G8. His tone throughout the Ty Butler Show interview was upbeat and confident. There's no indication a dramatic exit storyline is. Fans can breathe easy, at least for the foreseeable future. I know we all panic at the slightest hint of cast changes, especially with all the crazy exits we've had lately. I mean, Kirsten Storms is off canvas with Maxie moving to Australia, Ryan Pavey officially exited as Cassius Faison, and even Paige Herschel left as Jacinda Bracken. The cast is shifting so much that any rumor about Maurice makes us all break out in hives. But we have to trust the process. The writers are giving Maurice material that he genuinely wants to chew on. They are letting Sonny grow older, wiser, and more strategic. He's visiting Sidwell in Pentonville, offering protection, playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Sidwell rejected the deal, which sets the stage for a massive prison attack involving Curtis Ashford, but Sonny's hands are officially clean. He is operating on a totally different level now. So, let's just take a collective breath. We are not losing Sonny Corinthos. We are just getting a new version of him. A version that might actually be more dangerous because he doesn't have the authorities breathing down his neck for RICO violations every 5 minutes. If Sonny can wield his wealth and influence legally, there is literally no stopping. I kind of love that he is adjusting to this new life. It adds so many layers to his interactions. Think about his dynamic with Carly right now. She is navigating her complex relationship with him while protecting her family, keeping secrets about Valentine, Cassadine, and Sonny is still trying to be the protective patriarch. He even enlisted Brick to break up Carly and Valentine out of pure jealousy. So the mob boss might be gone, but the possessive, fiercely loyal Sonny Corinthos is alive and well. Because at the end of the day, that is who Sonny is. He is a protector. He protects his territory, his children, his legacy, and if he has to trade his pistol for a fountain pen to do it, then I am absolutely here for it. I am sorry, but anyone who says the show is boring without the mob violence is just not paying attention to the character dynamic. The tension is still there. The stakes are still life and death. Just look at the Windermere hostage situation with Ross Cullum, or the escalating war with Sidwell. Port Charles is still a dangerous place. Sonny is just changing his armor. And honestly, I want to see how Jason fits into this new world order. Jason is suffering from severe PTSD. He is pushing away his past, which is breaking my heart, but he is desperately trying to be a good father to Danny. If both Sonny and Jason are walking the straight and narrow, who becomes the new kingpin of Port Charles? Does someone new step up? Does Sidwell run things from behind bars? Does a new syndicate move in? The vacuum of power is going to create so much chaos, and Sonny is going to have to navigate it without his usual enforcement. Am I the only one who thinks this is the most brilliant writing decision they've made in years? It forces the characters out of their 30-year rut. It forces them to interact with the town differently. Sonny taking a seat on the General Hospital board alongside Tracy Quartermain? Are you kidding me? That is comedy gold and dramatic perfection all rolled into Tracy throwing her weight around, and Sonny just sitting there. A legitimate businessman matching her glare for glare. I am so hyped for this. I am so relieved Maurice is staying. I am so ready for this absolutely beautiful new era of influence and reinvention. As we continue tracking every single twist in Sonny's story, one thing is absolutely certain. Maurice Benard isn't ready to leave General Hospital just yet, and fans should expect his powerful, magnetic presence to remain a cornerstone of the show for a very long time. What do you guys think will be Sonny's first major move as a legitimate boss? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation going.